Now with experience, I can see that actually there's a lot that needs to be changed. There are a lot of people trying to change it, and change is not as easy as it looks where you're sitting. Couple of things I've taken away. First thing is that when you're looking at businesses, you're looking at politics, you're looking at NGOs, you're looking at anything. Pretty much everything in the world is connected to everything else. Some time back I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I asked him, how are things going? What are you doing? And he said to me, I'm working in the airline industry. And conversation went on. And I asked him, listen, tell me, what are the boundaries of this industry? What are the boundaries of this airline industry that you are working in? And he said, no, actually what we do is we take customers, we take them from one place to another. So I said, look, you're saying you work in the airline industry. So you are in the aircraft industry? Yes. The aircraft has tires? So you're in the rubber industry? Yes. The aircraft has passengers, so you're in the people industry? Yes. The aircraft serves food. In the aircraft they serve food, so you're in the food industry? So how can you tell me that you're working just in the aircraft industry or the airline industry? You're working in an extremely complex environment where everything is connected, everything is relevant. So the first thing I'd say to you is, whenever you're looking at a problem, don't make clear boundaries. I've come here. Many of you will say, oh look, he's a politician. He's come and here is a politician. And I'll look at you and I'll say, oh look, you're students. And I'll put I'll say you're students. And in a sense, I'll put a blanket definition over you that says, oh, these are all students and I got to address them. That hides a lot of it. Each one of you is an individual. Each one of you is unique. Each one of you has ideas. And it's a much more productive way to look at the world when I look at you and I don't put clear definitions on you. I don't say, he's from Andhra Pradesh, or he's a business guy, he's a entrepreneur. These definitions hide huge amounts of value. So first thing I tell you is, whenever you're looking at a problem, look at the definitions that you're carrying around with you and try and question them, break them. Second thing, I meet a lot of people. A lot of people come to my office, and a lot of people will tell me, I want to change the world. I want to do this. I want to improve this. And it's very important that you know why you're trying to do something. In fact, that is the fundamental thing. If you don't know why you're doing something, and you're doing it, you're not going to get what you want from it. And I'll give you a story. Some time back, youngster came into my office. He sat down, and he had been working on ambulances. He had been working on getting injured people away from the accident site into a hospital. And so the conversation started, and he says to me, I want to make sure that not a single person dies on the streets of our cities. So I said, that's a very good thing. How are you doing it? He said, well, you know what I'm going to do? I've now started ambulances and I've saved so many thousand people. I'm going to expand this network, and I'm going to make sure that there's going to come a day when not a single person dies on India's roads. And I thought, very, very good thing. And he said, then later, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move from ambulances to helicopters. I'm going to make sure that if today it takes 20 minutes to get the people to hospital, I'm going to make sure it happens in 5 minutes. And then we discussed how he was doing. He had very good. Then it was a cold morning, and he was like, the meeting was over, he was getting up, and then I asked him a question. I said, can I ask you a question? So he said, of course. So I said, so tell me, you want to save these people who are dying on the streets of India, right? Yeah. So I said, can I ask you a personal question? So he said, of course. So tell me, was it your father who died in an accident, or was it your mother? And he suddenly stopped. And he was like, my father. He said, how did you know that? I said, I didn't know that. He said, I had never thought of that. It never crossed my mind that actually the reason I got into doing the ambulances was because I suffered tremendously when my father died. And then he told me the story about how his father had an accident and was lying on the road, and people were just going by. The point is, it's a very good thing that he is doing, but it's very important that he knows the reason it's happening. And when I told him this, he had this sort of look on his face that he was like, maybe I don't want to do ambulances. See, what he was looking for was to resolve the pain he was feeling when his father died. That's what he was actually trying to solve. And the solution was, I'm going to go and help individuals. Very honorable thing. But it's important that he knows why he's doing it. It's fundamental. And a lot of times we go into things and we want to help the world, we want to change the world, but we haven't gone into the details of why we want to do that. And I think that's a very important thing. Final thing, you live in the 21st century, Facebook, Twitter, you're bombarded with information. You get up, information comes into you. And the thing to remember, when you're leading an institution, is that the thing that you can control, not 99%, 100% is your perspective, how you look at the world. And you will find that if try to shape that. Somebody will tell you, drive this car, drive an Audi, and it will give you something. Somebody will tell you, drink a Coca-Cola, it will give you something. But you got to remember, no matter what you're being bombarded with, the one thing that you have full control over is how you look at things and the perspective that you carry. It's very important that you don't forget that, because if you forget that, then if a wave comes this way, you go this way, and a wave comes this way, you go the other way. So I'd say, if you want to lead institutions and you want to be flexible and you want to do well, from my experience, think about these things and don't forget them. They will help you. Number one, don't put labels on people. Don't put labels on industries. Don't put labels on things. The universe does not have labels. Labels are human inventions. Steve Jobs, when asked, what was the most important class you took with regards to learning about, this? He said calligraphy. Calligraphy. Japanese calligraphy. If you think about that, with definitions in mind, that's ridiculous. If Steve Jobs had come and said, I'm in the computer business, could never build this. In fact, if he had said, I'm in the telephone business, he could have never built this. If he had said, I'm in the music business, he could have never built this. His strength was that he didn't apply labels, he didn't apply definitions. So that's the first thing. Second thing, which I mentioned, It works in life also. I don't like that person. That definition I don't like hides everything. I like that person. That definition hides everything. This is a bad person. This is a Hindu. This is a Muslim. This is a Sikh. This is a lower caste person. This is a woman. These are all things that hide value that you can use to build your organization. So control your perspective. Ensure that you do not create unnecessary labels. And then know why you're doing something. Don't just go into it and say, I want to change the universe, I want to change the world. What is driving you to do it? Why are you doing it? Often you'll find that what's driving you is actually not outside. It's inside. What's driving you is something that has happened with you when you were small, an incident that happened. Maybe something that happened with your parents, maybe something that happened with someone you love. And be aware of these type of things. I think these 3 rules will help you.